Okay, so I'm going to essentially record the Modern Masters preliminary. So essentially, the promo is not very good, so I need to go 5-1 for this to be worthwhile. Before I start, none of the cards here matter in terms of value, just because, well, it's a phantom event. Thankfully, I haven't opened anything of significant value from what I can see, so that's acceptable. I'm going to start by putting this Sword of Fire and Ice in my deck, as well as this Bone Splitter. Like, it's extremely rare that I'm not playing these cards. Like, I don't see it. And I'm definitely not playing Wonder, I'm probably not playing Enforcer. Joyra, I mean, if I'm playing blue-white, blue-red, sure, but... Now, for me, the important part here is these two Kitchen Finks. Like, the card is still very solid and limited. And I definitely want to be able to play these, so I'm looking at either a white or a green deck. I'm actually looking at this pool, and it's a little similar to the pool I had at our release event. The key difference is that the black is just not as good. So, the release event, I thought about playing green-red, and turned out the white-black was better. Here, I mean, I think green has to be played. Like, it's got the mana fixing end. I have to Search for Tomorrow, Kodama's Reach. Now the problem with the green is potentially a small lack of power. So I'm going to try here. I'm not playing, so because I'm in sealed, I'm going to try and avoid playing a deck that's synergistic. I mean, small synergies are fine, but it's rare that I'm going to be able to play the synergies I want to. So Narcomoeba is a bit weak. Like, I'm just going to go for power. Now, Davinia Pride is really good, but that's a slightly restrictive mana cost, to say the least. This pool isn't great. I mean, the Sword of Fire and Ice is great, don't get me wrong. It's just not... I'm having trouble building a deck here. Like, it doesn't seem very... Let's start with green-white, whether I play it or not at the end of the day. I'm probably not playing the Hanakamis. Like, they're really going to make the cut. Falid's a bit weak. Like, I find this card a bit too weak on its own. Now, Shell Dweller is another question, though. I find that card quite strong, actually. Imperiosaur, Mass and Mars. Doubling Season's actually a little interesting. It doesn't interact very well with Kitchen Finks, that said. Doesn't seem great to pay 5 mana enchantment to just see Kitchen Finks die. Dust Wasp. You'll notice I put the Suspend cards at that cost, because that's ideally where I want them. But they give me some late game as well. So... not the most exciting of decks. I mean, a lot of fat. I find green was actually quite good in that respect, like just having fat creatures. I'm not playing Sylvan Bounty. I don't really like these type of cards. Like, this is easily the weakest of them, just because the effect's not great, and you have Search for Tomorrow and Kodama's Reach and Knight of the Reliquary in some way. So I'm not playing Lava Spike. I don't have to play green-white, by the way. Like, I can just splash the Knight of the Reliquary quite easily, so... especially with Vivid Grows and Expanses and all that stuff. This is probably not going to see play if I played it green, just because it's too much. Like, I love the card, but, like, 5 black-white is really hard. Probably not playing Mirror Enforcer looking at this deck. I have 3 Grape Shots, but I don't have enough cheap spells to enable them. Like, Rift Bolt's more important. Squeeze okay, but I don't have many synergies with it. I mean, the red doesn't seem... I mean, you have the dragon, which is quite nice, but the red doesn't seem great. Like, I think I have fat. So looking at my deck, I think I want to combine it with removal. Just because the green gives me like every creature I could possibly want. Like this one's not incredible, but the option to evoke and the fact that I can generate quite a bit of mana makes this actually quite okay. So I need to find basically the combination which suits green the best. I don't think that's red, I'll be honest. Red has some war marshals and stuff, but it just doesn't strike me as being very powerful. I've put on this side the burn spells, as you can see. Let's see, Blight Speaker, probably not gonna... The black doesn't seem great. Like, you have Death Rattle, and to some degree Warren Wording, but it's really deep drag down to Death Rattle. A blue's a bit expensive. Although you have All-Stars, Ephemeron, and you for Snipe. I don't know if I want to play green-white. Generally not a very good interaction. Let me put the Court Homunculus on the side. I mean, Overworld Journey is very good with Kitchen Finks, but Kitchen Finks is very good with Kitchen Finks, so I don't really need anything to make that much better. The white has like Seekers, a Recluse. It's not a problem. I think green is the deepest color, and then everything else is kind of secondary. So I gotta figure out. I think I'm gonna be playing green splashing good stuff, like probably because then I have Search for Tomorrow twice, Kodama's Reach. I mean, I don't like Sylvan Bounty, but I mean, especially when I have 2 Expanse, 2 Grove. So I think I'm gonna just play green good stuff, so like green splashing removal. Divinity Pride, as much as I love the card, it's just not playable in this deck. This is, like, even if you get the Dream Scenario, not worth it. Put these away. Worth noting, Paradise Mantle is just not worth a card, typically. I did put the Phalids on the side, but I only have a Spore Sour Phallid to really combo with it. And if I wanted to, a Doubling Season. But I'm not convinced the Phalids are necessarily what I want to be. Like, I think these guys are really good because they buy you so much time. But yeah. So, looking at this, I'm probably not playing Doubling Season. It looks like I'm going to be playing some Technicolor Mess. So, not playing these cards. It's worth noting, by the way, if I do face a black deck, I have the option of boarding it into like Double Street Wraith. Which isn't like perfect, but it'll do the trick. So if I'm splashing blue, I don't have to splash 5 colors, by the way. Like, it's just like with the Groves and stuff, that the Vivids and the Expanse, I can do it, but I don't have to. As much as I love Ephemeron, like, you really need to be able to suspend that on turn 2, like, for it to be as good as it is. And paying 7 for it is like the secondary option, not the primary. A for Snipe's probably where I want to be. Don't want Petals of... I mean, Petals of Insight is a draw spell. It's a bit expensive, but it can do the job. As much as Take Possession is actually incredible, I don't think I can afford the double blue. So yeah, I'm looking at 5-color green good stuff. Imperial Sword is actually a 5-drop if I'm playing these Vivids. Right now, I need to look at splashing creatures, though. Like, creatures are what matters the most. Which, I don't, by the way, these are just options now. The problem is I don't see Phallid as even a creature, that's why I don't like it. This is almost uncastable. I love the card, it's just uncastable. Like, any force that draws just makes it worse. Doubling Season's not worth it. Even with the Phallid, only attracts with 6 cards, and it attracts negatively with 2 of my cards. I could play green-black, I guess. Street Wraith isn't amazing, but does a job. Like, playing 5 color green good stuff is not necessarily amazing, by the way. This might not be powerful enough to consider. Yeah. I mean, this is really good, but if you ever got this with Overworldly Journey, that'd be insane. Even, like, evoking it and then Overworldly Journey, like, probably destroys your opponent. Just because you make, like, a 4-4 and an 8-8, but... I think 3 color is the way it's gonna go. 5 color. Not that I like 5 color, it's not good, it's just... kind of need the power. I think I'll get base green blue and splashing the red, black, and white. I think I need just the power in my seal deck, like it's missing. So, I think with 2 Search for Tomorrow, Kodama's Reach, 2 Terramorphic, 2 Vivids, and a Meadow, I should be fine. That's like, Pestilence actually quite good. It's actually almost at that point where I really want to splash it. Not quite, but I mean I have to, I think, with this pool. Ephemeron's kind of that weak spot. Like, if I get like a Grove or an Expanse, I can do it on turn 2, so realistically, if I have a bit more blue, it's doable. These can be 5 drops, by the way. Not ideal, but... So Death's Rattle, Drag Down, and Rift Bolt. I mean, I don't know if I want to splash the Mountain. Like, at this point, I don't need a Mountain. So... if I can avoid splashing a Mountain, that might be good. It does make Drag Down a little weaker, but Drag Down's already strong enough as is. I don't need, like, the full domain for some reason. Let's see. I don't want Sylvan Bounty. Like, I think I prefer trying to get to 2 blue rather than having another Mountain. I'll be honest. I mean, I can still get there. I have a sort of Fire and Ice. Yeah, I think with 2 Search for Tomorrow, Kodama's Reach, getting a Night. I have to like be careful what I do. Like, get an island early for this, potentially get up points for this. So, my base is gonna be interesting. I am not playing any of these cards. No, I'm splashing like for one planes probably. Like plenty enough. None of the reliquary is also very good with Terramorphic Expanse. I have 15 creatures, so basically, I'm not playing Glacial Ray. As much as Rift Bolt is okay, I don't really want to splash a Mountain. Like, it's already quite difficult, like, color-wise, so I'm looking at either Petals of Insight for the card advantage or Take Possession. I really need lands, so Petals of Insight is actually quite relevant in this deck. But Take Possession is a really powerful card. Now, the other option is I cut a Walker of the Grove for the superior Take Possession. So basically this deck becomes mono green, then blue, then 1 white, 1 black. I think that's okay. I think I want Petals, but like this is a creature essentially. Petals of Insight, I mean, it's just like the card draw, because I have so many lands in my deck. At some point I need to draw like cards. And even if I have some card advantage, like it's one of the only ways I have to kind of gain advantage. Walker of the Grove as well. but I don't really want 2 walkers. I think the first petals is better than the second walker. I mean, this is a creature, so and this is really good. So let's add these lands. It's worth noting that because of the Vivids, this is actually going to be quite tough, and I would be not surprised if I evoke that a lot of the time. But hopefully, between my Shell Dwellers and my Kitchen Finks, and maybe my Pestermite, I can buy just enough time to get to the big drops. And with Take Possession, I can deal with some of my opponent's bombs, which is really important. So yeah. So hopefully this deck will do it. Okay. So mana-wise, what does Moto suggest? Okay, let's see. I basically have... I have 3 minutes left on deck building, so I'll be fine. I'll just about complete this in time. Okay, so I'm gonna count the number of sources I have and like I need per color, and then I can kind of equate that. So I have basically 1 green, 2 free, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is a lot. Blue I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. White I have 1, and black I have 2. So I'm playing 1 plains, 1 swamp, which I can basically this is pretty good because I can get my plains on my. I basically have in my deck with the Search for Tomorrow and Kodama's Reach, plus these, like 8 source of any color. So I have 8 swamps at 8, like 9 black sources and 9 white sources if I decide to. So this is why I'm building a multicolor deck. Is the power is not there in this 2-color consistent deck, so I have to go for a bit more. Now. This is the tough bit, is the blue. Like, 2 islands seems very low, but it might be, I think it's accurate, because I can get a blue source from these 5 sources, plus Search for Tomorrow, etc. And 7 forests basically means I have 12 ways to create green, and I can't keep a hand without green, so 12 is probably what I want. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. So I'm missing 1 land. It's either a forest or an island. I'd say a forest. I'll get to 2 blue by that point quite easily. So, and like multiple green is something I need more than multiple blue. So yeah, second 8 forest. Put that. Submit. And if you're on Moto, always check that you have submitted a deck. There we go. Okay. So that concludes deck building. I think this deck's quite good. I'm reassured. I think this deck can go 5-1 at least. I think by playing Take Possession, that's how I get there. Just because, and having so much late game power and mana sources. It's worth noting that I do have quite a few ways to filter lands, so even if there's 20 mana sources in the deck, I should be able to filter through, and I have a lot of things to do with mana between this and Masamars. Now the mana costs are a bit all over the place, because Imperial Sword's not at turn 4. It's still fine on turn 5, like. But I have to, when I play this deck, I'm going to have to really plan out all my turns, be very careful, think carefully. So submitted a deck. And I think this is right. The Video Pride, as I suspected, was unplayable. And I think this is the deck to play. So, yeah.